Are homes today being built with planned obsolescence in mind? In the past, homes were built to last for generations. They were crafted from durable materials like stone, brick, and solid wood, often by artisans who took immense pride in their work. These homes were designed not to just shelter their inhabitants, but to withstand the elements, to age gracefully, and to tell a story. Today, however, the notion of a home as a long-term investment in quality and legacy has been replaced by more transient philosophy. Many modern homes, while aesthetically pleasing and seemingly practical, are at their core disposable. It begs the question, has planned obsolescence, the hallmark of consumer goods, crept into the home building industry? The answer unfortunately appears to be yes. Planned obsolescence, the practice of designing products with an intentionally limited lifespan, has long been criticized in industries like technology and fashion. The idea is simple. Make something that works just long enough for it to feel indispensable, and then ensure it wears out, breaks, or becomes obsolete so the consumer has to buy a replacement. While the concept may seem antithetical to something as significant as a home, the parallels are striking. From the materials used to the construction methods employed, many modern homes are simply not designed to endure, but rather, new construction on average is expected to have a 40-year life expectancy. But why is this? The answer is multifaceted. First, take for instance the materials that dominate today's housing market. Engineered wood, vinyl siding, and drywall have largely replaced the solid lumber, brick, and plaster of yesteryear. These modern materials are cheaper to manufacture, lighter, and easier to work with, making them attractive to builders trying to meet tight budgets and deadlines. But they come with a cost. Engineered wood, such as oriented strand board, also known as OSB, may be adequate for framing, but it is far more vulnerable to water damage and wear than traditional hardwood. Vinyl siding is a material we use to wrap the exterior of our homes, a material that is known to break down when exposed to sunlight. While it is low maintenance and affordable, vinyl siding tends to warp, fade, and crack over time, leaving homeowners with costly repairs or replacements. Drywall, ubiquitous in modern interiors, lacks the durability of the plaster walls it replaced and is easily damaged by moisture or impact. Even the roofing materials used today illustrate this shift. Asphalt shingles, now the most common choice, typically last 20 to 30 years. Compare this to slate, clay tiles, or even cedar shingles, which can last a century or more with proper care. The decision to use asphalt is often justified as cost-effective, but for homeowners who need to replace their roof after just a couple of decades, the long-term expenses can far outweigh the initial savings. That isn't to say that roofing using the older methods doesn't require maintenance, it absolutely does, but we are talking about replacing individual shingles instead of entire roofs. But this overall trend isn't limited to materials, it extends to construction practices as well. Speed and efficiency are now the primary drivers of home building. Prefabricated components and assembly line techniques allow developers to build entire neighborhoods in record time, but this rapid-fire approach often sacrifices attention to detail. What's lost in the rush is the craftsmanship that once defined home building, the painstaking work that ensured homes were not only functional but beautiful and enduring. This idea of building homes at lightning speed isn't new. Before World War II, Sears Roebuck and Company, along with a handful of other companies, sold kit houses that could be assembled on site. You would order a house from a catalog which included everything you needed to build it, then assemble it yourself or hire someone to do it for you. With stringent quality control, you were guaranteed a home that would not only last, but be full of charming details. But at some point, things changed. Economic pressures have played a significant role in this shift. Builders operate in a highly competitive market where profit margins are razor thin, and buyers are often more concerned with square footage and curb appeal than with the unseen elements that determine a home's longevity. This has created a race to the bottom, where developers compete to build homes faster and cheaper, often at the expense of quality. For example, the rise of tract housing after World War II marked a turning point in American home building. Developments like Levittown provided affordable housing for returning soldiers and their families, but these homes were designed for speed, not longevity. Since that time, tract home builders over the decades have only continued to refine the process and maximize profits. This emphasis on short-term cost savings has had broader implications. Environmentally, the disposable nature of many modern homes is a disaster. Construction and demolition debris account for a staggering amount of waste, over 600 million tons annually in the United States alone. To put that in perspective, we'll look at the skyscraper with the highest observation deck in the US, the Willis Tower, which was formerly known as Sears Tower. The amount of construction waste in the US every year is equivalent to over 30 of these skyscrapers put together. Much of this waste could be avoided if homes were built to last longer, but the cycle of building, renovating, and demolishing continues to accelerate. The environmental toll doesn't stop there. Many modern building materials are not only less durable, but less sustainable. Vinyl, for instance, is derived from petroleum and releases toxic chemicals when it burns. Not to mention the process of manufacturing it releases known carcinogens, making it far from eco-friendly or a healthy choice. Cultural attitudes have also contributed to this phenomenon. In the past, families often lived in the same home for decades, if not generations. Homes were built with the understanding that they would house not just the current occupants, but their children and later their grandchildren. Today, however, people move more frequently, and homes are often seen as stepping stones rather than permanent roots. In the US, we view homeownership as a three-step process. First, we are expected to purchase a starter home, then build a family home, then downsize to a forever home. This transience discourages long-term investments in quality construction, as homeowners are more concerned with resale value than with the durability of their property. And oftentimes, when middle-class homes are sold, they are renovated, feeding into the vicious cycle of construction waste which compounds more rapidly as the population increases. The design trends of modern homes reflect this shift in priorities. Open floor plans, for example, are immensely popular but often require additional structural supports that drive up cost without adding to a home's durability. Expansive windows and trendy finishes may look impressive, but they often come with hidden vulnerabilities such as poor energy efficiency and a higher likelihood of wear and tear. So what can be done to reverse this trend? For starters, homeowners and builders alike need to reevaluate their priorities. Investing in durable materials and thoughtful craftsmanship may require a higher upfront cost, but it pays dividends in the long run, helping you save money over time. Fortunately, there are signs of hope. The growing interest in sustainable building practices and the resurgence of traditional craftsmanship suggest that many people are beginning to recognize the value of homes built to last. Technology also offers promising solutions. Innovations in material science, such as self-healing concrete and 3D printed homes, could make it possible to build structures that are both cost-effective and durable. Additionally, the increasing popularity of tiny homes and minimalist living reflects a cultural shift towards quality and necessity over quantity, a mindset that could inspire a broader return to durable construction practices. Ultimately, the question of whether planned obsolescence has come to the home building industry isn't just an economic or environmental issue, it's a cultural one. Homes are more than just shelters, they are places where memories are made, families grow, and legacies are created. If we want to build a future that honors those values, we must demand better from our society. And with that, I'll turn it over to you. Let me know your thoughts on the subject matter down below in the comments section. And while you're there, make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.